30 seconds.
Do I use pop out chat?
In the top, where the chat is, there's 3 dots at the top. Just click it, and it'll say pop out chat.
Oh.
Click it,
Yeah.
and then it'll pop out. And then at the top, change it from top chat to live chat, and then you'll be able to see everything.
Okay. No, don't. If you have a split screen... Oh, holy fuck. I didn't want full screen. Split screen, yeah.
Are we behind the curtain yet?
Can you hear us out there?
Oh, we are behind the curtain. We are behind, but no more effing and jeffing. For fuck's sake. Top, change it from top chat to live chat. Oh, you've got your... we can hear me.
Sound is live already.
Okay, not anymore.
We know they can hear us now because I just heard myself. Bum bum bum. We have who's in the chat? We've got Andy Fairchild, Giles Slawson, Dave Wright, Dion78, Gareth Martin, David Charles, Scotty Bogfoot, Dean Beanie, Mark Toddlington. Why has he got a picture of a child?
Lester. That's a picture of you.
Is it? Could be. Do look like a mess.
Fairchild from his hotel suite.
Oh, we've got Peter from PC Coils in chat. That's good. Kevin Wolfram. Oh, Wolfram, I assume, actually. I'm going to be a bit of European. Ian Bachelor Williams is here. Scotty, we already said it. Man, leave it. Bob Clark, I assume. Somebody said hello to Bob. So, yeah, it is Bob Clark. Bob's
Kev's
here.
in, Nick's in. Yep, it's good. But can they hear us? Are they actually...
I don't know if they can hear us. Cause
They've made no reference to us.
Nope, nothing at all. Let's just keep... Cuz Steve is here. Why is his name Cuz Steve? He's not my cousin. Oh, yeah, David Charles is in a hotel because his house burnt down. He just went to a hotel. Johan is here.
David, I meant David Andy.
Ah, right. Is he? Yeah, but if that's a reference to what you said, that means they can hear us. Evening, guys. There's no video on the stream. No shit, Tim. We haven't turned it on yet.
Okay, they can hear us, and I think they're getting annoyed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, so I'll roll the intro.
It's good because I solved it and then you go.
We are live. Welcome back to the new Ohm Show, chapter 34. In spite of everything, we are back. From his ivory tower, John Martin with us once again, and super special guests all the way from Belgium. The guys from PC Coils. It's a very PC show tonight. Oh, hilarious! So how you doing, Elsa? We've got two people on 2 screens, but kind of on 1 screen.
No. The other screen is just so people can see Peter is actually working sometimes.
Ah, got it.
But he's in the back here now.
There he is.
Hey guys.
Hey. Are you good?
Pretty tired, but still going, so everything's good.
Very cool. So we'll talk all things pre-made coils, coiling, wire, all that sort of stuff. We'll talk about
Belgium,
all that.
Belgium.
We've got to talk about Belgium because I'm going to be honest, I don't know anything about Belgium.
I've been there and had dinner with these lunch with these.
They have fantastic beer.
Yeah.
I know that. But that's literally it. And I would sort of guess. I'd guess the population's probably about 11 million. If I had to just guess that, off nothing. But yeah, that's literally all I know. So we've got to find out more about that, and the vaping scene over there as well. That'd be cool to find out about that. But yes, so we'll do all that, and we still have news, and we have some new stuff as always as well. So we'll splat that in throughout. What you vaping? What you drinking, John?
I am drinking. Okay, we've got drinking first. I really like the fact you can buy Lagunas in a can because you can't recycle bottles around here, and I fucking hate buying bottles. So fuck glass. I like buying.
Larry David's favourite beer.
Is it really?
Mm.
I really like. Oh no, I feel even better. I like Lagunitas. I do like that. I've got that, and I've got some punk on the go, and I drank some red wine with dinner. So I don't know what's going to happen. Probably not a lot. It's not a lot of alcohol. Yes, I do like Lagunitas, but I've only got one, and the rest are punk. But I think it's a fucking. It's a fantastic American beer. I have got. Lemon crack in the draw 16 on top of MVP 5, which is good, 50 milligram. And next up, I have got 6 milligram because I don't know why. 6 milligram. What is it? Can only be Graham in the super posh Rev 4 with an EVL. Look at that, with an EVL Alien in here. I've got a prototype EVL Alien, but my production EVL Alien comes tomorrow, thanks to John, which is really
Surely
awesome.
he's made you pay for that one.
What?
Surely he's made you pay for that one.
No.
That's ridiculous.
I love John. John's awesome. Well, I think me and Mark are the only people who've known about the EVL Alien for 7 months, 8 months, something like that. No, yeah, maybe something like that. It's the best thing I've ever put in a billet, and the prototype, it hasn't got any problems. It's just like the measurements are slightly out, so it is quite difficult to get in. Which it won't be, and the fill port's been. The little flap for the fill port's been made smaller. Well, I mean, it's not the plug's not as big, so it'll fit better. Yeah. John wants the prototype back quite a lot, so he told me to hold on to this until tomorrow, and then I'll send this one back. That Hayward guy is a plonker, is what Mark says. Oh, and
seems harsh. Seems harsh.
Graham.
Oh,
Lady
look at
Graham's
this.
all
Look
over
at this.
the
Things
country.
happening on the other screen.
Oh,
What
yes.
wire is being mounted?
Coils are being made. Ilsa.
Yeah.
I will keep saying your name, and I'm sure it's Ilsa, so I'm going to keep saying it like that. What are you vaping, and what are you drinking?
Okay, I'm.
And how's your week been as well? You fabulous lady. We don't often have ladies on the show, so
No.
you know.
My week has been very boring because I'm still at home at the moment, recovering, and that's why I'm drinking just cola.
She's not. You weren't very well, were you? But you're sort of back up and at them. We see.
Sort of. As long as I do nothing and
Yeah,
don't
okay.
try to breathe too deep in, I'm reasonably okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So-
Well, what's that?
My week has been doing nothing.
Get Peter to do everything.
That sounds like a perfect week.
Yeah, perfectly.
Not for me.
No,
What are you vaping though? What's the thing? We don't want to be too nosy. What are you vaping?
I'm vaping on a mod I hijacked from Peter and MK Iola.
Nice.
With Skyfall on top. And on my Seduce. Really,
What's up? What's in what liquid have you got in the Skyfall? That's such a nice setup. It's ridiculous holding up these setups and going, hello,
Oh, just
all right.
jam. Is it just jam? Just jam.
It is just jam.
This is
Ah.
my all day vape, and this one's really good too.
What flavors are they?
Strawberry is my all day vape.
Is it like, they're on toast, aren't they?
No.
Just
No.
just jam.
Just jam.
Oh, okay.
These are the good ones. And the other one is a raspberry.
I need to get
Nice.
some of that.
Also good. And yeah, guess what? Another Skyfall.
Another Skyfall. Look at that.
Very cool.
There'll be people trying to work out where you live. Peter, what are you vaping then? And what are you drinking?
Most of the time, the Pioneer
Right?
RTA
Oh yeah.
Okay.
brings out custard flavor. Very good, actually.
Good.
And living it on the Fusion Project Aurea.
It's good.
Very
I
swish,
like it.
very swish.
That one. And of course, Skyline. One of the new.
Nice.
And that one has Red Pill in it.
Red Bull.
Red Pill.
You know,
Like
The-
the Matrix.
The energy drink.
no,
Like
no, no.
Red Pill or Red Bull?
Yeah, red
Yeah.
pill.
Red
Oh.
Pill. Like the Matrix. That's the name, I assume.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think Ilse has the bottle here somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And what flavour's Red Pill?
It's
Lychee berries on a slight frosted flavor.
Oh, okay. That sounds nice. I like lychee. Litchi. Fucking idiot. That's why we don't have foreigners on, isn't it? Litchi.
no,
No.
it's the favorite juice from Bob Fischer.
Oh, okay. I like the bottle. You know, but both quite often when someone holds up a liquid and I go, I don't like the design of the bottle, but I like those. I think Just Jam's wicked, and that's a good design as well. It's solid. People get so overcomplicated or pornographic, and I don't fuck off. I think we've got to flip over to Richard. What you vaping and what you drinking?
Oh, yeah, okay. Okay.
Get ready to be fucking embarrassed by what he's drinking.
Oh, okay. I'm drinking Pepsi Max. I'm gonna be drinking Pepsi Max in a minute. What angsty drinks that every live shows?
It's terrible for you drinking beer.
Yes. Anyway, so on the Boost Plus, I don't know what juice is in here. I don't know what juice it is. So when it's gone, it's gone. But that's the thing. I've got.
Does look like.
It's good. I like it. It's like a cat.
Yeah, but it's just a cushion.
It did confuse a few people in chat.
Yeah.
I've got the Arkless with Rick's juice in. If anyone's keeping track, this is how much I've got left of my litre. So that's going quite well. And also the same with the Jen and Dead Rabbit as well. And I've got all this review gear I need to get it sorted as well. But those are actually what I'm vaping.
There's some confusion in chat as well that whether you're Belgium or Dutch, and I know you're not. You live there, but you're not.
He is Belgian. I'm
Yeah,
Dutch.
he is.
Yeah.
She's Dutch. Yeah, that was the confusion.
I'm
I
Dutch.
imported.
Have you got Can Only Be Graham on the go yet?
Me.
Yeah.
I've had a little taste. But I want to let it age.
Oh yeah, that is quite pale actually. I'll say that does need a couple of days. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, it's not even kind of fully cleared itself. You know, it's still needs a tiny bit of time. So that is that. But I have had a little taste, and it does seem very nice. But I'll definitely know for sure next week. So that's all the stuff. That's all the vapes, and I'm not drinking because I've just got back from another trip, and there's a lot of drinking there.
Oh yeah, of course you did. Where did you? I can't remember where you went.
North Yorkshire.
Do you have a cottage again? You went cottaging, and it was good. Sorry.
Cottaging, dogging.
Was it? Where did you went? You were by the coast, weren't you?
Yeah, it was kind of near Whitby, sort of in between Whitby and Scarborough.
Oh, I quite like it there.
It's lovely. We found a really nice local pub, and it was the same people coming in every night. It's like Emmerdale or something.
That's good.
Yeah, it was
I get
loads
told off.
Loads of banter. It was really nice.
I get trouble from my wife for when we go on holiday in the UK. I just want to be by the coast. It's where it's good. There's pubs. It's fine. Right, I understand now why you're not drinking. You get a pass. You're fine.
Yep, I'm drunk out. So that's all that stuff. But what's in the news, John?
What's in the news? Okay, the guests have got to jump in whenever they fancy as well. This is a warning to everybody, which is the breaking news from yesterday, actually. Be cautious of this news story. So this is a news story for me in line with PG kills bacteria in air conditioning systems, which we know is not true. It's not used for that anywhere. And the last study on it was from 1947, and it's not an atomizer. It's just it's not what we call an atomizer. It's an atomizer, but not what we mean. And it's something that people get carried away with. So this is from tobaccoreporter.com. So you know it's quality. You know it's quality. Dimitri actually reposted this. I tweeted it actually. Tobacco-based COVID vaccine passes trials. A Thai COVID-19 vaccine produced with proteins from tobacco leaves has been proved successful in animal tests. The head of the Thai Red Cross Emerging Infectious Disease Health Science Centre said the latest vaccine had been tested on mice and monkeys with satisfactory results and will now go through a purification process before it's tested in human trials. Developed by a Thai company named Bayer, the vaccine is produced by integrating the virus DNA into tobacco leaves. The plant responds to the DNA and produces the desired proteins about a week later. They said the vaccine not only produces antibodies but can also stimulate T cells to produce antibodies themselves when meeting the virus. The reason this is important is you're about to see this splashed everywhere in vaping. I've seen it twice in the last 2 days. One of them being the FDA says nicotine is bad, and then they posted this link. Is the fight against nicotine going to carry on? And then they posted the link to this trial. It's got nothing to do with nicotine. You're getting very, very confused. There were two different things. One of them was a trial with nicotine patches in Paris. It didn't work. The reason we know it doesn't work is because, as my dad would say, if it was true, everyone would be doing it, and they're not. So we can only assume it doesn't work. And this is not to do with nicotine. It's to do with proteins and tobacco plants. So we've got to be really, really cautious. If you think it's hard to fight bad news, it's a lot harder to fight what is deemed as good news. And I think
they've just taken some proteins from it. It's got very little to do with it in of itself, you know.
They've effectively attacked the plant with the virus and picked up proteins produced by it fighting a virus or fighting an intrusion, and then trialed it in humans and mice and monkeys so far. Yeah, it's not anything to do with nicotine, but it's already being leaked. It's being used I've seen it used against New York, against the senator in New York.
It's I think, you know, if there was less fighting, less battles already to be had with vaping and all that sort of stuff, I think it would be nice to correct people's assumptions with nicotine, because nicotine in of itself isn't particularly harmful.
No.
And it's only because it's always been linked to tobacco and smoking that it's perceived as a really bad thing. And nicotine on its own is very similar to caffeine, just a different type of stimulant. But it's just not. There's just not the time or the effort to get that very complicated message across when we just want to get across that vaping's better than smoking.
There's actually an anti-nicotine story this week that I didn't bother with because it's so stupid I couldn't be asked to argue against it. So people are probably going to see. They've introduced nicotine to blood vessels this week, and it causes blood vessels to constrict, which we already knew. Caffeine also causes blood vessels to restrict as well. It speeds up the blood. We knew that already. It's not actually anything, and it's only a test that's valid for about 10 minutes. So that's quite a weird one. I'm sure. Do you get the anti stories in Belgium as well, Ilse?
We do get some weird stories every now and then, but it's kind of quiet at the moment, so that's okay.
It's mainly in the mainstream. Well, I'm going to obviously prove that wrong in a second. But in the mainstream media that people read, that doesn't really come up. But this is going to come up because people will assume it's pro. It's not pro. It's not negative. It's nothing. Just let it go past. Just ignore it because it's it's not to do with anything that we do. It's to do with COVID.
Do you get the whole like teens vaping over there and people worried about kids and schools worrying about it and all that?
In the Netherlands, the Minister of Health wrote a letter to the parliament saying that all flavors, apart from tobacco flavors, should be banned because of it's a step up for kids to get to vaping. And that was big in the news and stuff, and everyone was like, how do I get this away?
Hold on.
Okay. Sorry guys.
That's okay. I liked it. I thought it was very good.
Nice.
Can you turn it off?
Yeah.
So they... No, it's just Peter's friends wanting to ask him if he comes gaming.
Ah.
Yeah. In his very few moments of spare time, he likes to do some Call of Duty.
Loads of people do.
Call of Duty.
75 million to be exact.
That sounded like a well fucking trodden argument, that did. Stop moaning at me. 35 million people do it, and I'm one of them.
He is a loud Sasha, but Peter is a bit camera shy.
Oh, that's okay.
No,
He's on 2 cameras.
back to the news. It was really in the headlines. All flavors are going to be banned, but nothing was decided yet
Right.
because it has to run through the parliament and everything.
Right.
And all the regulations, the more strict regulations, are postponed by 1 year to 2022 for now.
Okay, that's good.
So that's okay. And that was it. I never heard
Yeah.
about it.
That's fine. I did. We've got some fabulous news from medicalexpress.com. Next.
Okay.
Studies, it says, e-cigarettes won't help smokers quit, but they may become addicted to vaping. I love this as a headline. I just thought it was brilliant. Here we go. E-cigarettes are now the most popular product used for smoking cessation in the United States, ahead of all US Food and Drug Administration approved cessation aids combined. Fuck me. From nicotine patches and gum to prescription medications. However, 2 recently published analyses, fuck me, that's a terrible fucking sentence, of a large nationally representative longitudinal study report that e-cigarettes are not effective in helping adults to quit smoking. The analyses were led by the University of California, San Diego School of Medicine, and they were checking the tobacco use and its effectiveness on the health in the United States. Fuck me. So they studied 45,971 adults and youth between the September 13th and December 14th and re-interviewed them annually. In an analysis, the researchers looked at 2,770 daily smokers who reported trying to quit smoking during the first follow-up year. 1 quarter used e-cigarettes to help with their cessation attempt. So now we're talking about 700 people. At the second follow-up 1 year, 9.6% of the e-cigarette users had been abstinent from smoking for the previous month. So you do, just as it trails through, the numbers start making the study fucking pointless. 700 is a no study at all. No one will ever care about this study.
But it's happened.
Yes,
Millions and millions and millions of
Of people
smokers
have
have
quit
quit smoking.
Yep.
So it's like saying studies find people don't like football.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's millions and millions and millions of people watching it.
Do they watch it? Yeah. Do they like it?
Yeah, but we have 700 people and they didn't like it.
I really like it. I like the fact that the sample becomes so ridiculous. Amongst the representative sample of US smokers trying to quit, remember it's 700 now, we found no evidence that e-cigarettes are helpful in the quit attempt, said Dr. Pierce of Bullshit University. The lack of evidenceness was also apparent in the subsample who used e-cigarettes on a daily basis for this quit attempt. So out of the 40-odd thousand, the 700, now we're going for not even the 700. Now we're going for the people who used it daily. So there's not even a figure for that. So let's say it's 2/3. So let's say it's 450.
You really can prove anything you want to prove.
Yeah, statistically speaking. It's that thing. It's a joke I used to do at business conferences when they came up with a stat. I'd always say, "Did you know that 52.5% of all statistics are made up?" And they went, "Is that true?" And I go, "Yeah." No one cares. You are literally. It's so stupid. They're calling. I'm a little bit worried because I think that vaping stops in the UK. People who stop smoking through vaping are being included within COVID figures because they think 1 million people, which they've called a landslide of people, 1 million people stopping smoking. The fact that vaping stopped, I fuck knows, 7 million people smoking hasn't come up yet. That's not a thing. We suppose in the UK there are 1 million vapers. That's not true. There are a lot more. There was 1 million in 2014. It's 2020.
Yeah, they didn't they say it's close to 4 million.
I would say it was higher than that.
Even higher than that.
Anyway, it was 1 million is a landslide. They think 1 million people stopped smoking between the beginning of COVID and now. I don't believe that to be true. So I think somehow they've fudged the figures. Yes.
What's the next one?
The next one is the Daily Mail. So you know it's going to be some quality stuff.
Ooh.
It's kind of interesting because this is so fucking old and it's back. It's a revisit. I remember this study. I think it's from I think it could be from Harvard, but I do remember the study. The headline is chemicals in e-cigarettes mix to form entirely new combinations. The word mixed there being used incorrectly. That are toxic to lung cells and blood vessels. Scientists discover the chemicals produced by e-cigarettes combine inside people's lungs to make entirely new combinations. Absolute bollocks. That are toxic to living cells. We'll see. Scientists have found chemicals that produce flavors such as vanilla, berry, and cinnamon can mix up with other solvents in the gadgets. What's that? Where are they from? I don't know where they've come from. Someone's adding solvents in the gadgets to become dangerous to health. Whether using e-cigarettes, known as vaping, is safe has been a topic of debate for years. And as their use has increased rapidly, particularly among young people, scientists generally agree that they are safer than smoking tobacco, no shit Sherlock, which is proven to cause more than a dozen types of cancer. But evidence is increasingly showing that vaping isn't good for you either. Never said it was. The new research shows that the chemicals inside the device, they'll be all right, they're inside it, can become toxic to cells living in the lungs or the blood vessels to the heart. This is a complete load of shit, which is the same study that we've seen time and time again, and for some reason they've revisited. These are lung cells on a slide, and there's no solvents they're mixing with. They're actually talking about formaldehyde, which is, we know exists at high temperatures, but it doesn't come from a mix of anything. It's formaldehyde. It comes from heat when certain chemicals.
I think everyone in the media and in like the big tobacco companies, everything, it genuinely at this point now are really shocked that we haven't managed to find anything bad about vaping.
Oh yeah,
I genuinely think for the last 5 years are going, we will figure out what's wrong and then we'll get them.
Yeah, there's got to be something.
This can't be right. It's got to be something bad.
Yeah, this is Yale actually. I thought it was Harvard, but it's Yale. If you dug even an inch deep into this, you will find something terrible. He and the colleagues at Yale University isolated chemicals used in e-cigarettes and put them onto human lung cells in a lab. On a slide, they were dead. The cells were those that occur in the lining of the bronchia, which are the main airways that connect the windpipe and to the inside of the lungs. Let me just find out if there's anything else here that's not absolutely stupid. Researchers said there was also no evidence that e-cigarettes were helpful in the quit attempt. Okay. Okie dokie. In a large-scale study in the US, that was the San Diego study we talked about. Scientists from the University of California, carried out analysis and data of 45,000 Americans. We already know it was 700 participants in the study. Total bullshit. blah 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 blah. What they actually mean is that chemicals change once you heat them up, and if you superheat them, and we know that certain flavour compounds change to formaldehyde. When we compare the levels of formaldehyde in vapor, even in if you're vaping 0.02 ohms at 100 watts, if we compare that to a cigarette, it's not even close. It's absolutely fucking stupid. There is,
And it's not really ever been the formaldehyde in cigarettes that's caused problems anyway.
no, but it is. But it's important to know that it is vastly higher in a cigarette because of the temperatures involved. There's no people. We were led to believe that there was formaldehyde in cigarettes, but there isn't. Formaldehyde is born of you lighting it.
There's a surprising lack of variables in the whole vaping process, and unless we suddenly start using a different wire or a different, the only thing that ever changes is the flavourings, really.
Absolutely, and those.
So the only way we trip ourselves up is if we introduce a flavouring that's bad.
Once you get into American, so when you look at just for because I can argue from my point of view with when it comes to, so if you look at cannoli B1, which has passed the FDA, is going through the FDA regulations at the moment to become the only cannoli that's actually passed FDA regulations. I've got all the paperwork on it. It's been sampled by the FDA, and it's been cleared as let's call it safe. All the flavourings within. Benson Edges haven't. I don't understand what the argument is. That's a really strange thing to say.
Swirly Merc in chat has said basically what I was sort of saying. Unfortunately, they all are waiting for that one scummy vape liquid that is using shit ingredients. Then they can blame all liquid for killing unborn babies. And that's my point, really. If some really dodgy company makes a flavour that happens to use a really naughty ingredient, and that's what trip us up. That's what
they should pay one of us, because I can point at it now. If you want, you can just dip test that shit.
Just natural extract of some kind.
Yeah, if it's got anything natural in it, you're absolutely fucked. It's got a lipoid in it. I would aim at lipoids. They're very, very dangerous. Yeah.
That's the news.
That was the news in bullshit. I'm sorry it was all bullshit, but I was trying to avoid the one. There's a couple that are cracking at the moment. America are trying to leave it alone. They've got an election coming up, so they're not going to push much before the election.
No, it's not a vote winner for either party, I think.
No, so they're all completely avoiding it. There's no party for vaping. There are plenty of parties against it. We're going to go over to, let's go live to Europe.
What's Peter actually up to? What's his job for this evening?
His job for this evening is his job, like always, making coils.
But how many does he need to make before he can go to bed?
Oh, a lot.
Okay, not today. I believe at this moment he's making certain coils for some shady Scottish man in the shed somewhere.
It's personal supply, is it?
He's here. He's watching you in chat as well to make sure you get it done, Peter. Well, that's kind of how we know each other as well. I got introduced to you both through that Scottish man.
Yeah.
As well. He said they've got these coils. You've got this website. I think you could talk to each other. And I went, are they foreign? He said, yeah, but what can you do?
Yeah. And we talked with each other, and we had coils, you had website, and things went rolling from there.
So we're going to ask the normal, boring questions.
You need to work faster. That's my fault. Yeah.
So, Ilse, so did you smoke before you vaped?
I did, yes.
And when did you start vaping and quit smoking? If they don't have to be together.
Okay, I quit smoking and started vaping in 2012.
So did I.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah, it's been a little over 8 years.
And what was your brand of choice? What was your cigarette of choice?
Oh, some CE4 thingy. It was
No, what was your cigarette? What was the cigarette?
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield. Fucking hell.
Yeah. And I smoked like a package in 3 days. So not that
Oh,
much.
so not like the heavy smoker. Okay, fair enough.
No. And I started vaping to quit smoking, and then vaping became sort of a hobby.
So
And-
you were C5. What flavour was what was the one that stopped you?
Not a specific flavor. I've been hunting for the right flavor for years. I never got the fact that people could get an all-day vape
Yeah.
until 3 years ago, when I found Just Jam.
Nice.
So, and I'm hooked on the stuff ever since.
Yep. I know a lot of people that's all day.
But before that, I didn't have an all-day vape. Nothing. Just anything fruity. I never liked tobacco flavors, and the
Yeah.
nicotine levels went down really quick with me. And the best part for me was it 2013 or 14 when the first sub tanks came out and the Aspire came with the Atlantis and stuff.
Yeah.
30 watts was really
The Atlantis seems to have been one of those things that started something.
Definitely.
It
You,
really
you had
did.
to get one. You had to try it.
I was anti at the time. I was of the Shatlantis brigade.
I tried it and I was happy at the time. Finally, off that crappy EVOD Kit CE4s and stuff, they didn't do it for me, but I still never wanted to go back.
I was rebuilding when the Shatlantis came out, so I wasn't interested. I remember saying, I don't care. Peter, we need to ask Peter the same question. We need to ask when he quit.
Yeah.
Where did you quit?
I
Oh,
quit.
did you smoke when you quit?
Yeah, and I smoked a lot. I was up to 2 packs a day in the end.
Good man, professional. I like it.
I have no idea if you guys know the brand, but it was Bastos.
It's a Belgian brand.
It's a Belgian brand, but it's almost 1.5 times as heavy as, for example, Marlboro.
Whoa,
Nice.
whoa.
I like it.
So I had a good reason to stop because I was really suffering in the end.
Yeah.
Peter didn't actually want to stop smoking.
No, I didn't either.
He had to go to a wedding and he was
Yeah.
the driver, so he couldn't smoke in the car. He
All
got
right, darling. We'll be there in a minute. Don't moan.
no, that was a no-go.
No, it wasn't even my car, so I couldn't risk it smelling like cigarettes. When
Yeah. So when was that? What year was that?
That was
2016.
this year, 2016. Yeah, it was 4 years.
Oh, so you were together when he quit and he'd been smoking while you were vaping.
Yeah, just about. Yeah.
Wowzers, trousers. Yeah, that's difficult. I always find it's a strange thing when somebody isn't smoking and somebody is.
The funny part is he never smoked inside the house.
I never smoked.
Yeah.
He started vaping, and he started vaping really everywhere in the house.
That's the best bit.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what I do. I was the same. We used to pause films so I could go outside for a cigarette. Well, that's really how it started. I started vaping so that I didn't have to pause movies. They could just do it inside.
Yeah.
And then I thought I can't be asked to go outside anymore, so I just didn't. And then I stopped smoking. What was the flavour that you started on? Pete?
I think it was
Monkeys.
the monkeys, liquids, and the beard ones. Beards, 7.
Beards, yeah. You don't hear a lot about beard anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they are important in Belgium anymore. So
No.
we don't sell them anymore.
I do. I have to just refer to chat because it was quite funny. Dean Feeney. I was on 2 lighters a week.
Too light is
that would be some bucket effort. Yeah, I think then what do? Go back.
They're the basic questions.
They're the basics. Then we go to
But
regulars.
Yeah, but we need to know about coils. What started this off? Why did you not? Were you not impressed with other people's coils? So you thought I'll just make them and send them to people.
What started you doing it, Peter? And
I quit smoking with a CE4 kit. Peter quit smoking with a smog kit. So,
Yeah, and the thing what started it for me was I didn't get the flavor out of the factory coils that I wanted.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I started reading up on RDAs. At the time, it was just RDAs, and making own coils. And started. I actually the second coil I made was an alien coil.
Right.
So most people start with a simple round wire or a fused button. I simply started off with an alien.
And you wrapped the wire. You made the wire yourself.
Yeah. I do everything myself.
Who did you refer to for the alien when you first saw it? Was it Twisted or somebody like that? Or
M-Turk.
Right.
Yeah.
Mike Turkleson. Yeah. Yeah,
So
he's associated with Twisted Messes.
So you saw him doing it, and then you thought, I can do that.
I watched his live videos literally every day.
What was the thing though? Because so when the whole vaping thing started, and well, not vape, all right, maybe it didn't start. When rebuilding started, I was watching Todd to work out how not to do it, and then I was watching Scott to work out how to do it, and the reason I thought I could do it was because I used to go fishing, so I used to be able to tie hooks. So I thought, well, I can do that. If I can tie hooks, I can do that. And that was how I started. And there was a couple of things when I watched Scott. He took when everything was cancelled, he took the bounce out of the wire, which I'd never. It's like, so you ran a blowtorch down the length of wire to take the bounce out, but then it was possible to do, especially close contact coils. This is such a weird thing. If you're watching this and you started vaping in the last 4 years, this is going to make no sense to you at all. But everything was spaced coils. Like nobody would put the coils touching each other. That was mental. Like it just never happened. And you couldn't do it because of the bounce in the wires and stuff like that. And we were using two,
the really thin stuff, wasn't it?
0.25, and everything bounced. And then we moved up to 0.3, 0.4. And the first time I'd seen anybody do it was, probably. I started rebuilding with Nichrome, which is a total dick, and very thin 0.1 or whatever the fuck it was. And then I moved over to, and I started watching Scott rebuild, and he was doing Genesis, and he was taking the bounce out of the wire with a blowtorch. And I was like, fuck. You can get it to stay where you fucking put it. Yeah. But what was the skill with your hands that you thought you could do it? Like I've heard lots of different ones. Like people used to paint those Warhammer figures, and they thought, well, if I can fucking paint that, I can do that. What was the reason you thought you could do it?
Well, actually, it's a pretty sad story, and I'm going to open up live on this one. I was in a mentally very bad place at the time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, wow.
So I was in therapy, and I needed to get a hobby to focus on and forget everything else around me. And that was about the time when I started looking into rebuildable RDAs, RTAs, looking into wire, and just start building coils. That's it.
But that was so. It was.
That's really cool, though. That's
having a sort of one line sort of thought process.
That was the only thing at the time for me.
Switching off.
There was nothing else.
Yeah. That's really cool.
And he was really day in, day out from 8 o'clock in the morning till 10 p.m. in the evening, practicing, making aliens, coiling, doing shit. And when he managed to scale a little, he had too much coils.
Yeah.
So some friends of him said, oh, they're good. I want them. And that's how it all started.
And that's what set it off, yeah.
And they said,
That's cool.
So it was therapy for me.
But when you think about mental health therapy, there's so much mental health therapy. Like, there's a joke. My wife is an occupational therapist, and there's a joke about occupational therapists in the UK that when she says what she does, if anybody knows what it is, they will say, "Oh, basket weaving." So it used to be a thing to get people who were going through mental health therapy to weave baskets. So they've got one thing to do, or knit.
Yeah.
But famously, it was making wicker baskets and bending bits of willow to do it. And it's kind of, that's so similar, where you've accidentally fallen upon the thing, which is just to do something methodically over and over and over and over again to reset the way you're trying to think.
At first, it's like that obsessing with something fresh, something new to obsess with, and that gives you that momentum. But then when you get good at it, it's the ability you can just switch off. You know how to do it. It's really easy, but it's like a single focus thing, so you can just do them, I guess.
Obviously, also as well, because we've got a couple on the show, which we don't normally have. It's quite nice to see the juxtaposition, because in every couple who've been together for a while, whether they're married or whatever, there is always that. I make a joke with my wife that one of us is up and one of us is down constantly. You know, you're always like, one of you, the deal is that one of you gets the other one up all the time, because that's what you do. That's kind of part of the rules are, when someone's having a shitty time, you've got to be the irritating. I always say, the more down my wife is, the more irritating I will become. And the more like, hey, let's go and fucking do this. And then when I do it the other way around, it's like I had a bad year last year, where at the beginning of the year, just funerals and shit. And it's the opposite way around, where somebody's trying to bounce you back, which I think is part of the deal, that you kind of bounce each other back. And you were going, stop making coils, you fucking twat.
No.
Sell some so we've got some floor space.
The only thing I hear from time, actually on a regular basis, honey, I need coils.
Careful. Oh, okay, fair enough.
The problem was, at first, he had a shit pile. Those were coils that had some tiny flaws in them. So not good enough to sell them, but good enough to vape them for me. So I always had coils. Then the shit pile went smaller. And then I had to ask for coils, and I asked, and he gave me coils, and it was okay. By now, I need to ask for coils and hope I get them within 3 weeks, because it's too busy.
You're in the same queue.
Do you get a discount?
Yeah. So he is like, order them from the website.
I like that. I really, that would be awesome. Yeah, no, because thinking about...
and then print the package slip, and then...
Me and my wife met because I gave her a cigarette. So I bought her a beer, and then I asked if she smoked, and she said yes. And so I gave her a cigarette, and then she smoked it like that. And I realised she didn't smoke, but it was very funny that she'd pretended to smoke because of that. So she doesn't care about vaping at all.
yeah, Martin, I did.
Yeah, it's just fucking annoying as shit. When as soon as she started fake smoking, I thought, that's a waste of a cigarette. What have you done that for? Idiot.
I can ring you through the Google Home.
What made you come with the PC coils? Why the name? I know it's Peter's name. I'm not absolutely stupid.
No, it's not original at all. It's his fault. Peter covers.
Yeah, it's just my initials.
It works though. It was a bit of luck, isn't it?
Completely out of inspiration back in the day. You know why? I just told you. So
and once everybody knows, you can't change it.
PC coils.
Yeah. It works. I give you that.
Sort of roughly speaking, how many coils do you need to produce a week? Like
several hundred.
I would say towards between Yeah, it depends. 1 week isn't the other.
When it's really busy, I can push up to 500 to 1,000 coils a week.
Wow.
Did you really push?
And you can actually make that many in a week.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends because at the moment he is still working part-time for a boss. And that 22 hours, so 3 days, he's home 4 days coiling. But PC Coils really is a full-time job for him.
Wow.
At the moment. So yeah.
I think last week I did 1,200 coils in a week.
500, 600 sets in a week sometimes.
1,200 coils a week, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's a lot.
Also, you, it's kind of it's such an odd year because obviously we've dealt with each other. When it comes to when you've got a show to do, you obviously go into hyperdrive. When you've got vape haul to do or whatever, and it's been because of the way the year's been. It's been so fun. I know you were kind of getting yourselves ready for vape haul. We all were because it was the first time I was ever going to go this year, and then it went. I went
to Stuttgart. You mean?
Yeah, Stuttgart. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, if we go to Stuttgart, we bring a little over 1,000 sets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on average, each set has 2 coils, and some have 4 coils. So you can do the math regarding the amount.
I know what they've got. They're in the fucking shop.
These coils that we're talking about are available at Just Add Nick. We should point that out. justaddnick.org.uk.
They're available in 2 places in the UK. They're available with me, and they're available at the other place as well. What's the other one called?
Steam Island.
Steam Island as well.
Steam
I'm happy
Island.
to do that. It's fine. Rob's great. It's fine. It's okay. We kind of it works really well. There's such a funny thing in vaping in the UK where everybody thinks everybody's against each other. It's just total bollocks. Like everybody who's in the community and talks to each other, it's no problem at all. It was like Ilse spoke to me, Rob spoke to me, and then we were like, yeah, it's fine. And Rob said, yeah, this, that, and the other. And it's no issue. That's all. Stuff just moves.
So you obviously you're really well known in the UK now. How many other countries do you send to? Do you sort of deal with?
A lot.
Oh wow.
Literally
Okay.
all over the world, and it surprises me every time I get an order from somewhere.
Yeah.
I think, whoa, I need to check what that place is.
Where's my furthest?
I think it's about 7 countries we're in. 6 or 7 countries retail-wise.
My favourite
right.
one to send to is Tasmania in Australia. I've got a few customers in Australia, but only one in Tasmania, and I just quite like it. I don't really care. Whenever the order comes in, he knows who he is, and I think, yeah, Tasmania, it's going. Like he orders, like, I don't know. I assume it's like 3 months at a time, but I just quite like. It's fun to send stuff to wherever. And like,
I guess it's all reputation though, isn't it? Because obviously there's going to be someone in the UK that can make an alien coil, but people just want what they know. They've had them before. They were consistent. They were good, so they want those ones again.
The main thing is consistency. Peter does slam it down on consistency. Like you can swap out, and it is the same coil.
Yeah,
which is that makes a massive difference. The other thing, when you started making, I don't know if you knew this when you started doing it. Did you know that you were going to help? However, I don't really care how this comes across. Did you know you were going to help people who've got dexterity problems? Because I get customers who ask me to do things with the coil, like bend it in a certain, like move the legs in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Because prior to people like you beginning, they couldn't use rebuildables. It wasn't an option. They couldn't do it because they couldn't. There was no way they could rebuild because they got the dexterity to spend some time screwing the legs down, but they couldn't coil. And you've given them an opportunity they didn't have.
Yeah.
Does that? I mean, you must. I know I've got customers of mine who use your coils. And so I know you must know you have customers who rely on your coils and wouldn't be able to use RBAs and RTAs without you, without what you do.
For example, we have a lady over in the States, in America, and she has rheumatic disease, arthritis on her fingers and stuff. We make coils with special bent legs so they fit right in her Nada. So she is able to install them herself. So she doesn't need her
Very
husband.
cool. Very cool.
And
You can't have known what that was going to do before you did it. And
No.
I think that's
No.
incredible. Like you accidentally made an advantage of people who thought they couldn't ever be part of that community, and you give people a gateway, then they couldn't have done it because they can put the cotton in, or they can get somebody you can explain them, put the cotton in, or you can dry fire and you can clean the coil. The other thing you do that lots of people don't understand, you have cleaning instructions for your fucking coils on your Facebook page. Well, there was nobody.
That's all her.
Nobody does that. Who the fuck does that? Could you imagine if Coke went, don't bother, just buy Coke and then fizz it 4 times in a soda stream? They're never going to do that. They write, same shit, do it like that. Nobody has ever said, like, that's such an incredibly brave thing to do, to say, look, these coils last longer than you think. I think it's amazing.
No, it's a part of customer service. Our coils are not the cheapest, but we do stand for a good quality product, and the customer will need to be able to enjoy that product as long as possible.
I really like that attitude. I think that's
Yeah.
great, because I've had the same thing. I've been at shows and somebody said to me, I would buy from you if you're cheaper. And I've said, okay, and shaken their hand and gone to walk away. And they've gone, no, but I go, no, I totally understand. But there are reasons, is that it's like a fair trade deal. Anybody who's my supplier knows what the fair trade deal is. It's got nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah.
But there's no, there's no 90% profit margins. It's not like that. That's not the deal. I'm not in this for that. I do it a different way, but I don't want to hear the fucking, I would do, yeah, cool. You're not my customer. You're never going to be. So and that's fine. And I think that's incredible of you to say, this is how you clean coils. I just think it's mad.
That's the other thing with PC coils as well. Correct me if I'm wrong here as well, but they've seemed to have become really popular with the lower wattage vaping as well. For a long time, people were like, at lower wattages, it's just round wire at lower wattage.
He does 1 ohms and 0.8s easy.
Yeah, but like that was not really a thing, was it? Even like when M-Turk was doing all these aliens, they were all for cloudy setups. They were all for. Did you deliberately aim at that audience with your coil?
And the 0.25, because nobody does the 0.25.
Was that deliberate?
No, we started off making. Initially, it was just 3 coils.
Aliens.
It was 3 aliens. It was a 0.2 ohm, 0.25, and 0.3.
Yeah.
And we slowly saw the market shift towards rebuildables for going to MTL, restrictive direct lung. And a 0.2 ohm coil is just way too hot to use in a netty like that.
Yeah.
So
0.3 also.
yeah, so we needed to shift our resistance a bit further away.
No. You're saying it wrong. Kevin and me,
No, that was for the 1 ohm.
yeah, try to change your mind for over half a year to get you to make higher ohm coils.
I like it. Live domestics.
But that was like, but that wasn't. People weren't doing that at all. Like no one was doing higher ohm Claptons. No one even thought it was a good idea to put them in mouth to lung builds or low wattage builds.
No, but we honestly didn't know if people even wanted to buy them.
Yeah.
But apparently they did.
The biggest seller is your 1 ohm.
I did
with us.
I did a mouth to lung tank review about 2 years ago, and I put a Clapton in it, and I got so much like negativity in the comments. Like, what are you putting that coil in there for? It just tastes better. It just tastes better. Just like in higher wattage, Claptons can taste better in a lower wattage mouth to lung.
I will say the trouble was, before they started doing it, was the outer wrap was the problem. If you use a broad gauge on the outer wrap, it pops, and that doesn't work. Like if it starts popping on a 1 ohm, you've got no chance. You can make it, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Repeater.
In that particular video, I used a fully Canthal one, so it was like a slow thing. But that's because they weren't coils like PC coils around, you know.
No. So we're gonna have to go. Should we go to new and then we'll go to the question thread and we'll annoy them with questions from?
Yeah,
other
should we
people?
show some new stuff? So you guys will see this on the live feed, not in Zoom.
That is the way to, we can't see.
Yeah. But I'll put some new stuff up. Okay, so the OBS Cube S. The Cube was quite popular when it first came out on our group.
What?
Quite a few people having it. And they've done several iterations. This is the latest one. It's Cube S. From what I can tell, the main thing is that they've put sort of fancier exteriors on it now. And it's slightly less cubey, I think, as well.
Yeah, it's not. But I don't like the leather bit. But apart from that, I think it's okay.
No, I don't know if it's real leather or there's probably a carbon fibery one as well and all that sort of stuff. The tank looks identical to the original tank from 18 months ago, so I don't know.
It does.
So that's a bit weird, because that's the one thing they probably could upgrade. But yeah, so there's a Cube S now. That's the thing. I don't know anything about this either, but this sort of came out from Aspire around the same time as their very popular side-by-side mod. This is the Aspire Deco. Has that come up for you now?
Not
John?
quite yet.
Basically, it's a single cell variable wattage mod.
It's up now.
It's part of a new sub tank, I think, as well. But yeah, this is the Aspire Deco, and it's completely passed me by. I don't know if anyone else has noticed this.
Such an odd thing. I don't know why.
Strange shape. Huh?
It's strange shape, but why the fuck? Like the white one is disgusting on the left. The middle one's not so bad, but then the colours are bizarre. With the tank, it looks terrible. The black. Let's just to pretend there's only a black one.
I can't even tell where the buttons are.
No idea. It's so. Why is the screen so pronounced? That's so weird. It's not terrible. Like I said, the black one hides a lot of the terribleness of the
Dean
design.
Feeney in chat's just put nope.
Yeah, it's quite weird. I'd go with the black. Go murder out, and then you'll be fine. It's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't know much about the sub tank either. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose you've got to do what they've got to do, haven't they? I suppose.
I bet it's all right.
I mean, I'm sure it works fine, but
I bet you.
At a time where everyone else is making their boards really small and therefore the mod really small, they seem to have needed to put almost.
I bet the UK tank looks better without the bubble tank, because the bubble tank is fucking horrific.
Yeah. I bet it's a 21700, but that's why it looks quite fat.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I just don't know why it's so like snub nosed, but whatever. But who cares? There's nothing deco about that, says Mark Toddlington.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair comment.
Yeah.
The next thing I'll put up is because basically the way I do these new stuff is I surf Instagram.
Yeah.
The EH Pro, they made this announcement 13 weeks ago, and they haven't done a single thing since. And the announcement was basically that a lot of their copyright, a lot of their intellectual property was now Arteries. It was all getting handed over to Artery. It looks like EH Pro are officially done.
Okay. Wow.
So that seems to be the end of EH Pro, and anything they did that wasn't the Cold Steel series.
When you say that, you mean that they've just moved over because they own Artery, don't they?
Yeah, I believe they were completely the same company, just two different trading styles, but now it's all over on Artery. I don't know what spiked that or caused that, but it's a funny one, strange.
Maybe it's some sort of industry drama to keep them going.
Yeah, that's the end of EH Pro. I think that's my understanding.
I think it's fine to bury them because EH Pro were quite infamous for clones back in the day.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of good reasons to drop a. If you've got two trading styles and one's getting a lot of positivity and one's getting a lot of negativity, then
yeah, EH Pro were well renowned for copying this shit.
Back in the day, they did a really good Kayfun clone, didn't they? Which probably paid for their next 2 years of nonsense.
Yeah.
This is the Lost Vape Gemini hybrid device, and we've covered this before, but there's better pictures now. Better pictures are being shown to us now.
What the fuck is that going on with that guy's nail?
It's got to be optical illusion-y camera trickery.
It's very weird. What the fuck? He's got a weird nail.
Yeah,
I think we need.
I think it's because they've tried to be fancy with the photograph and they've put sort of filters on it and edited. But what that does is make normal things look weird.
Yeah, it does look weird.
So this is, you can see now it's got the screen on the side, on the front side, if you like, and it's sort of an AIOE, and it's got the lovely resiny pattern thing. I think it might be quite popular.
Yeah, as long as you get rid of that horrible pattern.
There's lots of different patterns.
Yeah. I assumed you were going to say that. I did. So.
And it has it comes with a rebuildable element, I believe, as well.
Oh, okay. Okay, I quite like that. Fake hand again, says Rufus. Yeah, it's really weird. Why? It's such a stick-out thing for the pearlescent fingernail weirdness. Ugh.
Oh, this is another picture of it. It's clearly showing. This is just the plain black one, but you can see everything that's going on here. So you can see it's got the rebuildable pod. It's got your standard sub-tank coil, and then it's got your screen. And I think it's a nice dimensions and everything. I think
it's good dimensions, yeah, and I think it's good to do a billet size without the billet. Yeah, that's better. I like that. Well, the drip tip fucking thing is horrible, but I'm sure, hopefully, it's 510. You can change it because that is fucking ghastly.
I think it might be quite a swish. I think it might be quite a swish out and about.
What does it remind me of with that button? It really reminds me of something.
There's been a few. There's been a few in that shape.
Yeah, but I like the fire button. I like the ups and downs. Yeah, it's all right. It looks way better like that. They're all saying that, Dion.
Yeah, there you go. So it might be a case of finding the right doors, but I think Lost Vape do all right usually. So, on the other hand, this is Artery. This is Artery's Nugget Plus, where they've gone basically see-through and neon.
They didn't know what they did right the first time.
No, because again, the Nugget was quite popular. It's sort of a budget billet type situation.
Yeah, there was a few. They also have done quite well.
I remember.
Oh, that is fucking awful.
I remember Craig Nichols, I think, was a big fan.
Oh, he's not going to be a big fan of that.
No,
fucking
absolutely.
hell, that's terrible.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. Why is it bowed? Yeah, that's weird.
So they've kind of shot themselves in the foot potentially with that.
Rufus has ordered an EVL alien for his billet yesterday. Good man, Rufus. They are fucking
Everyone's
awesome.
saying it's a fake hand in that previous picture. I can't believe that. This has passed us by. This isn't super new actually. We missed this one. But this is Stan Tenacious TX's latest Times Vape mech mod.
Rufus Kane says about this, the Artery. Kids will love them.
I think that's true. Yes, so this is his latest mech. His mechs are very popular. They've
I
always
quite
done
like
really well.
how the juxtaposition of that and this. It's nice.
So this is his latest one with Times Vape, the heavy hitter mech mod.
I don't hate that.
And yeah, it's exactly what it says on the tin. It's going to be another cloudy, well-made mech from him.
It's very tactical. That is a terrible picture, and he needs some photography editing skills. But apart from that, it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's like literally a random one that they've reposted. It's available in several finishes. Usually he does something with the switch that's like new and interesting.
Yeah, I like the mod. I have to flash back to the last one just to say Christopher Morrow has renamed it the Fuck Nugget, and I think that's quite good.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That is fair. This one, again, I think we did show a teaser, the UL's teaser of this previously, but now it's actually out. There are actually reviews of it. The lovely Paul McCartney's done a review of this now. It's the UL Valerian pod system. And again, it's sort of that AIOE billet boxy type thing, but it's a bit taller, and I think it's a bit cloudier. That's
not bad. It's underplayed, which I think is what you want.
Yeah,
I think quite like the button.
There's a range of colours and stuff. I think there is a very just normal looking stainless steel version available.
Yeah, I don't hate that.
And don't forget, UL make good coils, so they make good stock coils.
I like that.
That might be alright. I haven't had a chance to check out Paul's review, but if anyone's interested, go check that out. I think it'll be alright. I think it'll be okay.
Have you got one on the way?
I have no idea.
Oh, hopefully.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure because UL may be one of the companies that are still posting things to my office.
See, looks good.
Mm.
I don't hate
So
that.
that's some random new vape stuff. A bit of a quiet week, actually. A bit of a quiet week on the new stuff, from what I've seen. But yeah.
I
we go.
quite like that. Oh, you just accidentally skipped to the last picture, which says, "Touch me now. I feel incredible." That reminds me of my ex-girlfriend.
Yes, that's because it's got the lovely leather.
She was
on
like, "Don't do it."
Yep. So that's the new stuff. That's the new stuff.
Okay, I think we're going to have to go to the
Switch over to the Facebook questions.
the group questions. Yes. Oh, we've got people building. We've got David. We've got people doing stuff. Right. Fuck me. Oh, here we go. Here we are. Right. The important stuff first. Ilse,
Yeah.
Peter, what is a Belgian bun called in Belgium?
Okay, Peter and I actually had a discussion about that earlier because we had to Google what you guys name a Belgian bun.
Right.
It turns out that we sort of call it a coffee cookie
Krentenkoek.
or maybe a raisin cookie.
Raisin. It has raisins in it.
If
Oh, it's
you
not a Belgian bun.
translate it completely. So, krentenkoek.
And to cook? Okay, not bun.
And-
I assumed you'd just call it bun because you're in Belgium.
No.
We've answered that one. Do PC coils have other uses, and what are they?
Oh,
The PC coils tubes. Sorry.
the piece. Oh, the tubes. No. Actually, no. Not for us, at least.
I just wondered if anybody in chat's got any ideas what to do with an old PC coils tube. Dean Feeney went with, this is quite an apt question because we now know that Peter is Belgiumese and you are Dutch. Ketchup or mayonnaise? We all know what we're talking about.
Peter said both.
We're talking about
And
chips.
for me, it's a discussion: Dutch mayonnaise or Belgian mayonnaise.
So you are definitely mayonnaise. I quite like. See, I like the Dutch swirl. I quite like that with the ketchup and mayo. I'm quite a big fan of that.
That's the hot dog standard, isn't
No,
it?
but the Dutch mayonnaise is a little bit sweet, where the Belgian mayonnaise is a bit sour.
So where are you? We're going ketchup or mayo? Let's be fair. We've all realised during the show tonight that Ilse is definitely in charge. So it's mayonnaise. That's the end. of the question.
That's why Mark Todd calls me the boss and him the work.
That's totally true. Ali asks, where did you meet? You and Peter, where did you meet?
Actually, at my work at that time in a vape shop.
Right. And when was that? So I'm assuming like 2000, because so I'm going to say 2015, 14.
Somewhere. I don't know.
You're supposed to fucking remember. That's your job as a woman. Remember.
2017.
Somewhere around there.
2017.
No, earlier. But I was at work, and on Thursday nights they had a vape night every week. And Peter came in with a friend of his, and I treated him nice apparently, but I treated him as a customer. He found me on Facebook, sent me a message to thank me for the lovely evening, and the rest is history.
So
Very nice.
you were at work. Peter met you. He stalked you a bit, sent you a dick pic, and then you were just friends from there on out. Got it. Okay, doke.
Like that.
Pretty
This
close.
is a cool.
Scotty Bogfoot's put one in the chat. I
Go
think
for
it's
it.
a really good question. Have
no.
you guys become immune to stepping barefoot on little pieces of wire?
To be honest, I think Peter does by now. He has such a thick layer of skin on his foot. Nothing can penetrate through that.
Nope.
Yeah, but yeah, I can see from what we've seen tonight, you're very organised though as well. So I guess there's not too many clip-ins around.
If he is doing it, it's not. If I am doing it, there are, and he gets angry for that. Yeah.
As a question to both of you.
Can you see it? There is where all the clippings need to go. Yeah, and if it's full, it's been thrown away, and yeah.
Question for both of you. What's your preferred wire material? So what do you like to vape with? Ilse?
For me, it's personally NI80. I did vape Cantal before.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, we all did.
And NI80 ramps up really fast. See, I can't use nichrome, but I can use NI80. It gives me I'm sensitive to nichrome, and I can taste it. I'm not sensitive to it. I can taste nichrome. I'm not a fan. But
No.
Peter, what's your preferred? I love the fact Peter just is like a fucking angry man just sat in the background. I vape sometimes. What's your preferred material?
No, always full NI80. Always
full. Pretend you like each other just for this. What the fuck, Eden Hazard? Am I right, Richard?
Oh yeah, it's like I was saying before. I don't know anything about Belgium.
Oh, go! Ask your questions now.
I don't know what's cracking off in Belgium.
Let me just tell you that Bruges.
I've seen the film.
That's all you need to know.
It's very pretty.
That's it. That's the end of Bruges, right? Nobody told me. It is incredibly expensive, like off the chart expensive.
That's like a touristy thing, though.
Oh my fuck! No one told me that, and then people hand you bills whimsically for 120 euros, and you just go, okay, like for not very good stuff. And then I mentioned to Ilse and Peter when we had dinner with them, it seems really expensive, and they both went, "Oh yeah, it is. I mean, I wouldn't spend that." It's like, oh, okay, fine, fair enough. Yeah, no.
But obviously, football is really popular in Belgium. What are the other sports? Is it handball?
Through Belgium on the way to, we used to go to the Eifel region in Germany when I was a kid, and we would go through Belgium. We'd go to Holland, get off at Hook of Holland, and drive through Belgium. And you just see cars on fire by the side of the road where people just crashed, and it was pretty fucking horrible. Yeah, not good with the driving thing. But you need to sell Belgium to Richard. That's what you need to do.
Oh, Kevin.
Why should Richard come? Why should he go?
To answer Richard's question, football is always number one in Belgium on the charts, always. And I think cycling is a close second.
Yep.
Because there's always a lot of Belgian guys winning Tour de France and whatever.
Yep.
And I think in third place it's tennis.
Wow, really?
Belgium is flat as fuck as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the cycle.
Yeah, but that's good for cycling.
Yeah, it's like Holland is the same. There's no hills. Like if you had a hill, that's a tourist attraction. No one has ever seen one.
No, but Belgium has a bit of hills.
A bit of hills, yeah. Once you get to the borders.
Part of Belgium, and that's not Belgium to us.
Don't make it worse. You already have like 8 parliaments.
Political.
It's mental.
Yeah.
That's cool.
How much, like in meters? How much wire do you get through a week? Says Andy Fairchild.
Yeah, that's a good one. Really, I think we need to count in spools.
Yeah. The only time we really counted was at the start of the lockdown pandemic in Belgium. There was around the 18th of March. Up until 2 months later, I needed to reorder some wire, restock. And we counted and the amount of spools, the amount of wire that was on the spools, and we came out at around, what was it, 24 kilometers?
I believe a bit over that.
Fuck.
In 2 months.
Wow.
Shit. So 24,000 meters.
It differs. It's not like he just does that many spools a day, but if he starts fusing, it's easily 10 spools gone.
Yeah.
And a
That's a lot.
spool
What?
has,
Yeah, for example, if you take 26 gauge, it has 100 feet.
Cover the label. They'll just order it.
Yeah, but if you take 40 gauge, it has 500 feet.
Oh, okay. Right.
So it has.
And the fusing wire, the thin
Yeah.
wire, the 500 feet spools, 10 spools a day.
Wow.
That's
That's
amazing.
incredible.
That's amazing.
Andy's got that. Peter Huxley's gone with, would you agree that anyone who puts mayonnaise on chips is a dirty, dirty bastard?
Yeah.
Dirty. is what they
Totally.
put.
Totally.
I've seen
We're
him
gonna-
do it.
Oh, yeah, cool.
If you mean the chips like Lay's,
Huxley's a pervert. No, he means like, don't fucking start
Can't believe
using
he's been allowed a
Americanism.
dog.
Don't start using Americanisms. Chips are chips. Crisps is a different thing.
okay.
No,
No,
French fries.
yeah, French fries. So,
Fucking, why are you using Americanisms? The fucking chips. Get fucked.
It isn't even French. We invented it. Belgians
Yeah.
invented chips.
That's true.
So why the fuck are you calling them French fries then?
Everyone
Call
else.
them whatever you want. No, they don't. Dirty Americans do. Paula asks, you both know and love Paula.
yeah, we do.
I've already checked. Sorry, Paula. Who are your top 5 vape wankers?
Yeah, that's a good one. I really don't know. The only thing I have to say is John Martin at number 1 because he got us here tonight.
Yeah.
It's the perfect answer. I really like that.
People that still use round wire.
Get fucked. I said, but I'm half and half now. I use their coil because they started making one Ohm coils, so I'm cool with it. And there's 6.5 aliens as well. I don't know if you know him, Kevin Borkai Kilmer. He's around.
You got that
He-
spot on, John.
I think I nailed it. He said, "Who came up with the awesome Lego photos in your group?" Is what
Okay.
Kevin said.
Most people know that Kevin and Alice are really good friends from us. And they are on the PC Coils team too. So Alice designs our labels, does all the design work because I suck at that part. Alice is really good at that. So
And I just don't have time for it.
That's cool.
They were the Kevin and Alice were
and
they
Kevin,
were with us when we went
Yeah.
when we went to Bruges. We met them for dinner. They all came out.
And-
So
Kevin is Kevin and he loves Lego.
yeah, and we kind of like the like all pissing around the side, like the Vape Fest is something you've been to in the UK, and you came to see us when we did our show last year, sorry, and yeah, there's a massive lots of people don't understand how big these things are and how far people travel, and it was fantastic. I remember talking to you all, we were chatting away all the way through it and trying to make sure that it was possible to get to where we were. And Kevin's been superb, and Kevin's come to the Vape Fests and the shows and everything as well, and else as well. Everyone's been wicked. But that counts for Paris and the Hall of Vapors and everything.
But for me, that's my vacation.
Yeah.
That's all the time off I got.
Sorry about that.
No, but that's really the time I can enjoy. I'd rather go to France or Paris or Stuttgart instead of going to Egypt for a week.
Yeah.
Or to the UK because
Or to the UK, yeah.
trips to the UK are always awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You have to treat vape expos like that, I think.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's going to be like it's quite weird. We try to get like within the team when we do stuff like that, we try to kind of keep that in mind a lot of the time when we go to stuff, because we know lots of people don't get a lot of time off and they come a long way to stuff, especially to sit with us and have a pint. You're mental, but so that makes it enjoyable for us as well to go to shows. I don't get to see Mark unless Toddlingtons. No, I've not seen him this year, and it's so weird because I'm so used to seeing Mark. I know he's watching. He was watching.
Yes.
I'm so used to seeing Mark at least a couple of times a year, and I'm not seeing him this year, and it feels really weird because it's September, and I'd have seen him. Yeah, some years I'd have seen him 3 times already, and I've not seen him. And I've not seen that tosser in from that guy, like, because I've seen him as well, and like we'd have had a laugh.
I know, it's mad.
It's been a really weird year.
What's the coronavirus situation in Belgium? Are you guys? Are you guys doing all the lockdowns and stuff? Are you over it now? Or?
There's no lockdowns anymore right now, and there was one lockdown in one particular city, Antwerp.
Right.
Was on a almost full lockdown and a curfew. So people couldn't leave their houses from 10 to 6 at night.
12.
First it was 10, but that was lifted. So everything is back to normal again.
What difference is that going to make 10 till 6? There's lots of things with this.
Just
Are you wearing masks?
Yeah, so
Are you wearing masks if you go out?
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
So do you have to wear masks in the street or just indoors?
Indoors.
Indoors.
Yeah, same as us.
If we go to the city center, we have to.
Yeah.
But
Well, outside?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So only on the busy shopping streets.
Yep.
Where people are close together and stuff, that's when we need to wear a mask.
It sounds like you're exactly where we are.
I've got to ask the last question for the thread, which is David Child, who's going to be for both of you separately. Which of your coils did each of you use the most? And what was the last? And what was the first type of coil you sold? Which we didn't actually ask. So that is a good question. Ilse, what's the coil you use the most?
One of the first that was actually sold.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I am using the 0.3 aliens.
Okay.
Right.
And I actually buy my Atties for the coils and not the other way around. Because that's my way of vaping. That's what I like.
I
That's
like
good.
it.
That is good.
Peter,
And-
what coils are you using?
Right now, all I use is 0.8 fused Clapton.
Ah, ha, ha, ha. That's quite different though between the two of you.
Yeah.
It used to be the 0.25 alien
Mm-hmm.
for a long time. And it was 2 years ago at Vape Fest.
2018.
When we met John, I was still vaping dual coil RDAs.
On a meth tube.
Yeah.
Closable.
But ever since Vape Fest, I think it was going straight to Moutalong.
I think you're some of those people as well. That's quite funny. Whenever I get introduced to people and they go, "We at Vape Fest," and I go, "Yeah, I did the raffle," and they'll go, "You were the twat who was really horrible to people with a microphone." And I go, "Oh, no, that was me. Yeah, I do that as well. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah, that's quite easy. It's quite that's quite the icebreaker when you go, yeah, that was me. Oh, I do that sometimes."
Yeah. No,
And what was the first coil you sold?
yeah, 3 types of aliens.
So the 0.35.
0.2, 0.25, and 0.3. And that was the complete lineup
Perfect.
at start.
That
And
was it.
it grew out to be over 20 types of coils by now.
Is that where you're at now? 20 types.
Yeah, and also the custom work people does apart from that. Because the people can choose on the website if they want the legs to the same side or legs
I'd
opposite.
love people to hear the conversations in the background sometimes when it's a judgment call. When you go, is it? Yeah,
And
don't know.
but if they want them coiled clockwise, counterclockwise, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So-
talk to them. So I think we're going to get this at an hour and a half.
Yep.
If you want to talk to PC Coils, join the PC Coils group. Number
Yep.
one, definitely you can get the coils from 2 places in the UK. One of them's Steam Island, one of them's just had nick.org.uk. I have to say that, but yeah, Steam Island and us. And we've got the coils, and they've got the coils. Any questions you want to ask, go over to join the group PC Coils. We've had loads of people move over from PC Coils to join the ideal, the new Ohm Show group, and yeah, it's been fantastic. Thank you very much for coming on, Ilsa and Peter.
Oh, pleasure.
Our pleasure.
I reckon we'll be back next week. Richard's hair is looking so cute. We're going to have to come back next week just to see where it's going.
Grey though. Every
Oh,
time.
but that's
every time
just,
I cut it.
it's just lovely. I like it. It's like a silver flash of brilliance.
Yeah, it's going to be completely see-through soon.
Like a polar bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got black skin. Oh, that's a weird Gervais joke. Right, Richard, you can wrap up the show.
Yes, okay. Thanks for coming on, guys. Really interesting. Amazing stats. Amazing stats. I had no idea. 24 kilometres of wire. Thousands of coils every flipping day. That's amazing. That is amazing. You need to build a robot.
Yeah.
I honestly don't get that he still likes to do it, because it's really like he's in a production factory. He's a one-man production factory.
Yeah. You need like a really solid Netflix account or something.
Yeah.
Show them how it works.
Yeah, so that's amazing. That's really cool, really amazing. So yeah, thanks for coming on, and thanks to everyone for watching. Smash that like button and all that sort of stuff. We will be back next week.
We will. I might get a haircut. Throw it out.
Yeah, that'll get them coming back for
That
sure.
will, yeah.
Smash that
I'll
like
try it,
button. I've been away, and that's why there hasn't been any reviews this week. But I'm back now, so I'll be doing those. I'll be doing those again. God knows what's first.
Looking forward to it.
But that's the thing. Any Just Add Nick news, John?
No, I've got a few liquids in for it. I've got a new brand in for an interview, and I think we're going to go with it. But we'll find out later.
Oh yeah, there's a new one coming.
Oh yeah, there is.
Yes, there is. Oh yeah, and it's one that I already know I like, so that's exciting. So there we go. Yeah, thanks for watching, and thanks for coming on, guys, and we'll see you all.
Thanks, Niels. Thanks, Victor.
soon.
Next time. Bye-bye.